intangible assets. Assets minus total liabilities. Now, I want you to look at that question. Try to identify what total assets are we going to use. What value of the total assets are we going to use? What total assets are we supposed to use? Someone to help me. What figure do you get for the total assets?
Total assets. This is in the turakuramo za mpuzamagana abiri ariko so sibyora ni 10.
So we are told that there is this point that Nyabugogo Limited is the only company. Okay, to help in valuation of the possible offer price, the following information has been provided. Item, Maraika, then we are given Nyabugogo, non-current assets, goodwill, current assets, total. Then there is another note under the additional note. Look at the last note, number 7. Tangible non-current assets of Nyabugogo Limited may be sold at 20% above the carrying value. The carrying value is the one indicated in the books. Included in the current asset is a receivable which has since gone bankrupt, amounting to 200. So let us try to work on it. So we say determine the total asset. So we have a non-current assets. These ones, we are told how much. It is for the Nyabugogo non-current assets. We are given non-current assets for the Maraika is 12,800. The other one is 4,800. So we have non-current assets market value realizable. Realizable value is equal to, going by the additional note that they will be realized at, I think, 20%. Tangible and current assets of Nyabugogo may be sold at 20% above the carrying value. Above the carrying value means they will be sold at 120% multiplied by the current book value of 4,800. So can someone give me how much is this? Please give me how much is this? 120% of 4,800. 120% of 4,800. Yes, please. Yes, please. I'm waiting for the answer. I don't have a calculator. Did someone write 5760? I can see 5760, 5760. So I will say this is 5760. Then we have the current assets. From the question, we are told that note number 7, included in the current asset is receivable, which has since gone bankrupt, amounting to 200. It will not be realized. So how much is the total current assets? Current asset is 2,600. 2,600 million. So we say that current assets is 2,600 minus the bankrupt receivable. So this is 2,400.
Yes.
2,400. Remember we said it is tangible assets. That means we will exclude
what?
The goodwill. So we say that this is total assets. Total assets. Total tangible assets.
ijana na mirongo itandatu.
This is how much? Give me 20, what, 70 or 81, is it 8160? Please confirm 8160. Then liabilities. Then here I have the liabilities. Liabilities. Do we have liabilities? The liabilities, we are told that
Long-term
we
loan.
have ordinary share long-term loan of 5,000. So we have long-term loan. Long-term loan, this one is 5,000. So the net difference is the net assets value. Net assets value. How much is that? That 160. So when you look at that question and what is provided, we say that under the net asset value, we determine the total assets minus the liability. I don't know whether there is a question on that. Someone to ask a question. I need to see whether there is a question. Is it understood? Note 7, we have talked about it. Yeah, someone is asking. Okay, anyway, if you don't write in a language that I understand, I may not help much. So that 160 is correct. Net asset is that 160. Or did I write 3260?
Yego.
Oh yeah, it is that 160, not 3260. Good, thank you. So that is the value of this asset. Now let's look at the other part. I remember we had mentioned about the dividends. So can we try to use the dividend growth model to see whether we'll again be able to determine the value? So option two, we talk of the constant, or let's say dividends growth model. Dividends growth model. So what information do we have? And if you are going to use the dividend growth model, what is expected of us? We know that the dividend growth model, we say that the value of a farm is the present value of a growing DPS. So we say that the price of a share, P naught is equal to D naught into bracket 1 plus G over the cost of equity, cost of equity minus the growth rate.
Where cost of equity equal?
Let me make this one look better. That one, it looks a little reasonable. So how much is, number one, we need to determine the D note, dividends per share for the year just ended. D note. I want to put it this way. D naught is equal to
1
is equal to D naught is equal to
1
dividends per share for the year just ended. Dividend per share for the year just ended. And can we establish the dividend per share for the year just ended? Someone to tell me how much is the dividend per share for the year just ended? Let me see whether we are together.
See.
What is the dividend for the year just ended? Someone says 189, 189. Someone is asking, why do you use only data for Nyabugogo? We are valuing the farm that is being acquired. So did someone say it is 189? Yes. It should be 189 as per the statement. I would want to read through that part so that someone don't ask what is already there. Yeah, the paragraph that read the company has never paid dividend before. However, as a result of interest shown by MG, the director have equated annual salaries paid to them as dividend, and this amount to an equivalent of Rwandan francs 189 worth of dividend per share. So we have the dividend per share. Could we be having the growth rate somewhere? The growth rate. Do you see any growth rate anywhere? Risk-free rate is 6. Market premium is 4. I remember there's somewhere we are told that something will grow. I don't know. There was a growth rate somewhere. Under the additional note, I cannot see one. Unless someone tell in which point. I think there is somewhere I had seen a growth rate.
Lot 5.
Can someone see the growth rate somewhere?
Number 5.
There was somewhere like as a result of the acquisition, the sales will increase.
Horizontal.
Oh my, cannot see it.
Turnover niyongera ibindi byo ntibyiyongera. Reka nse nkubaza.
Someone to help me identify where the growth rate is, because I think I saw something like that. Do we read through it again? Let me whether someone has written in the growth rate. Anyone has identified the growth rate. As you say it is 5%. On note 5. Okay. So note 5. Yeah. Should MG acquire Nyabugogo Limited, it is expected that the turnover will grow at 5% per annum for the unforeseeable future. The above turnover is based on the million cubic liters, but that Nyabugogo may process per year, which is currently 6.5 million cubic liters at a price of 1,000 liters. 5% revenue will increase. So we are assuming this will be the same even on the dividends. So we can say that growth rate, G, this one is equal to constant growth rate. The constant growth rate, which is 5%, this is 0.05, like that. That is constant growth rate. Now, what else do we need? Cost of equity. Cost of equity. Out of the methods that we determined, which method do you think we can determine we can use to determine the Gordon's model, capital assets pricing model, risk-free rate plus a premium, APT. Which method do you think we can use to determine the constant growth rate? Someone to help us?
Kapemu hano nishoboka.
Someone to write for us, which method do you think we can use to determine the cost of equity? Someone says Gordon's. Someone says Capem. A number have written Capem.
Wakoze?
Yeah, I see majority says Capem. Let us see. If we did the formula for Capem, that is, let's say using capital asset pricing model, we say that the cost of equity is equal to risk-free rate plus a return of the market, or the expected return of the market, minus risk-free rate multiplied by the beta factor, the beta of equity. Let me see whether we have this. Do we have the risk-free rate? If we have the risk-free rate, let me know. This one should be note number 3. Risk-free rate is 6% and the market premium is 4.82. Risk-free rate is 6. So we have risk-free rate is 6%. The risk premium, the risk premium is equal to a return of the market minus the risk-free rate, and this is equal to 4 point something. They say it is 4.82. 4.82%. So that is the risk premium. What else don't we have? The beta factor for equity. Now, do we have the beta factor for equity? Beta factor. I think there was some table somewhere.
So
the beta factor for equity for Maraika is 1.8. For Nyabugogo is 2.4. If you agree with me, it should be the 2.4. So we say that the beta factor for equity is 2.4. So the beta factor for equity in ungeared farm, this is what we call the asset beta. For those who are asking, it has been repeated. So we said, did we say 2.4? Yeah, I believe it is. We say 2.4. So if we have that, then can we get the cost of equity is equal to risk-free rate 6% plus the premium 4.82% multiplied by 2.4. Can someone give me the cost of equity, please? Send me the cost of equity. Do I have it somewhere? I think I say this thing again. It is the asset beta, or the alternative name is or the beta of equity for ungeared firm. Asset beta or the equity beta for ungeared firm. Someone says 17.568, 17.5, 17.5, 17.568, 18. Try not to loud it off to that extent. That one can give you misleading answer. So at least 2 decimal places are reasonable. I see 17.6, 17.57. I would go for 17.57. 17.57%. 17.57%. Now, what is this going to help us? It is going now to help us in this. In here. So value of a share, value of a share for this company is equal to the dividend for the year just ended, P naught, or P naught is equal to, I think it was 189. Was it 189 or something? The dividend for the year just ended. Do I get it somewhere in the question? I think it was 189 if I'm correct. 189 for the year just ended, multiplied by, open a bracket, 1 plus G 0.05 divided by cost of equity is 17.57 minus minus 5. Minus 5. So how much is the value of a share? Let me get the value of a share. Value of a share, value of a share. Someone to send me the value of a share from that. One says 0.17569, another one say 1579. Let's see, please. Let's get it from someone says 15.78. Why do we use CAPM or KE for using calculate MPS, and I think we can use MPS? No problem. I picked what was available, so there would be no any issue. How much is it? Is it some are giving it in percentage, but the value of a share, when you get this one, okay, let me put it correct. Let me put it right. This is percentage, right? So it should be 0.17 minus 0.05. 0.05. It should be that way. So please consider that. They are percentages. How much is it? 1578.75. Another one say 14.28. 1578.7. Let's see, let's get it from another person so that we can get 1578.758.
aho bireba se iminota ntibiri kugenda.
So can I pick this one?
Eh?
So it is equal to 1578.758. So we can pick that one. That is the price of a share. But again, remember it is the value of the firm. Value of the firm is equal to price per share. You multiply by the number of shares. Price per share times the number of shares. So the price per share is this one. We multiply by, we need the number of shares. Do we have the number of shares from the question? Are we given a number of shares somewhere? Check. We are told that ordinary share capital is 5,200 million at a par value of 1,000. 5.2 billion at a par value of 1,000. So we can therefore say that number of shares is equal to 52 divided by 1,000. And this is equal to
Not correct.
5.2 million.
No.
Shares. So what is so we multiply by 5.2 million. So how much is this? How much is the value of the farm? Value of the farm. How much is it? It should be that way. The number of shares multiplied by the market price per share. Maybe someone can give us, we see how much it will be. Let me see what you people are saying. Value of the farm is 8209.5. Value of the farm 8209 point. Yeah, I think I can pick this.
Nyine wowe wari wabyise ibyawe.
So we said using the growth model, we can determine that the dividend growth model, we are able to do that. That is option 2. Do we have data that can help us to go for option 3? Is there any data that you feel can help us to go for an alternative options? We can try to get it because we are given some details about the price earnings ratio. Let's see whether we can use the price earnings ratio and possibly get the value of the farm from what we have. Back to the question. We are told that turnover is that earnings per share. We have the EPS. Yes, 85. Price earnings ratio. Oh yeah, we can do the price earnings ratio.
iri hehe
Price earnings
muva
ratio level.
ngiyi
Option 3.
nani
Price earnings
gatanu da
ratio.
price earning ratio
Price earnings ratio. We say that the price earnings ratio
stock
is
price
equal
per
to
unit
MPS
over
divided by
EPS.
EPS. Now, if P naught is equal to MPS, then P naught is equal to price earnings ratio multiplied by the EPS. So do we have the price earnings ratio?
Yes.
Is there price earnings ratio from the question? Someone to give us the price earnings ratio?
Not available. Hey. Oh.
When I check on this question, we are not given the price earnings ratio for Nyabugogo Limited, but in note number
Yes.
1, sector price earnings ratio for chemicals and waste disposal companies is 25:1. So it is 25. We have it at 25. Then, can we have the EPS?
Yes.
We are told that the EPS
Nani gatanu.
is 85. So can we have the price of the share is equal to
Yeah.
price earnings ratio of 25. We multiply by 85. How much is this? Price earnings ratio multiplied by the EPS.
So ibyo ukoze nibyo ra. Ntabwo ndi kureba nta mwanya mfite.
Someone to give me the amount, please. Someone says it is 21.25. 21.25. That is what I see. 21.25. So it is 21.25. So value of the farm, value of the farm is equal to P naught multiplied by
Nibyo
number
narenze.
of shares.
Wanoso.
So we can say that P naught
Share
is
outstandings.
21.25. We
COVID.
multiply by the number of shares. We had determined number of shares somewhere. There are 5.2 million shares.
Hey.
So we say multiply by 5.2 million
Dutandukane so haryo gaturahitamo iki.
shares.
Ah.
So what is the market capitalization using that approach? So how much did you get? 11,050 million, 11,050 million, 11,050 million. So we say it is 11,050 million. Good. So let's look at the question. We see whether there is any other method that we can use out of what we said.
twarindira beta twayikoresha iyo kapeni izo zingahe z'ubundi
Do you think there is any other method that we can use?
zituraje se imwe n'amatariki harya ni iyihe di
So do we have any information that can help us determine the cash flows? Use the cash flows. I think we are given some details about the sales revenue, we got some, these sales revenue issues should help us. There's somewhere we are told the turnover for each of the company,
5%.
earnings per share, price earnings ratio, the beta factor. Then there is note number 6, before tax contribution to sales ratio is 30.
30%.
Then we have tax rate. I think that one should help us determine. Let us use the discount, try to determine the cash flow. So I'll call it the discounted cash flow method, option 4. Option 4. Let's see if we can use this discounted cash flow,
before tax contribution,
discounted cash flow method. Now, given the data that is available, is it possible to determine the cash flows? So back to the question, we see what is provided and see whether we would be in a position. We can try to determine this and see what we can get. So let's get to the revenue. We have revenue. The revenue from this question, we are determining the revenue. Where is it? The turnover of the revenue is 6,500. This one is 6,500.
Yego. Ni iya zero ariko. What about the growth? No. Turakuba. 15. Hagiye hese.
I need to know whether you can hear me because I've noted.
No good.
So, can you hear me, please? Yes, please. Can you hear me?
Listen.
Make sure that you respond. You can hear me. Can you see my screen? Yeah, see whether the screen is shared. Someone says the screen is not shared. Check whether the screen is shared. Yes, you can hear me. Can you see my screen? Yes, good. Good, thank you. Let us continue. We look at the cash flow. In the question, down here we are told about, there's somewhere we are told about, where is this? Number 6, before tax contribution to sales. Contribution to sales. So this is revenue, variable costs, If the contribution to sales is 30%, it means variable cost is 100% minus 30%. This one we multiply by 65. That will give us the variable cost, so that the difference is contribution. The contribution, which we can say is 30% multiplied by 65. So how much is variable cost and how much is the contribution, please? Variable cost. Someone says that the variable cost is not 65. Is variable cost 6,500? I can see someone says it is not 65. Is it the variable cost of the revenue? Something. Variable cost is 45.55. Someone said that it is 45.55. Is it 45.55 or 45.50? 45.50. I don't know whether that is what is the others have. 45.50 contribution is, someone says that contribution is 1950. Can we confirm? Contribution is 1950. Contribution is 1950. Please confirm. Please confirm.
Contribution
is it okay? Then, so that is the earnings before depreciation and tax. We are not given any information about the depreciation. So we less tax at 30%. Can someone give me the 30% of 1950? 30% of 1950. Variable cost is 70% of the sales. If contribution is 30, variable cost is the difference. Someone to give me the taxation, which is 30% of 1950. 30% of 1950. Is it 585? I see someone written 585. Yeah. So we minus 585. And this is because we don't have any depreciation, this one becomes the cash flow. The cash flows. Let's get the cash flows.
Hey.
Cash flow, the difference. Someone says 1365. 1365, 1365. 1365. So that is the cash flow. Do we have any information about terminal cash flows? Now, if this is where we stand, we need to find out whether there could be some more information that will help us or that will guide us on determining the cost of capital. So let's try to look at the way the question is. Go back to the question. We need to understand it. Sector price earnings ratio is that, corporate tax is 30% payable in the same year, risk-free rate is 6%, market premium is 4.82, debt can be assumed to have a zero beta. Are they raising debt? Should MG acquire Nyabugogo? It is expected that the turnover will grow at 5%. The above turnover is based on that before tax contribution, tangible non-current assets of Nyabugogo may be sold at 20% above the carrying amount. Did we have anything about the debt? Oh, yeah, there is. We are told that to help in valuation of the possible offer price, the following information has been provided. Non-current assets for each of the two companies, goodwill, current assets, total. Then we have the ordinary share. The ordinary share is 52. Then there was long-term debt of 5,000. Now, they are acquiring this farm, and this farm already has a debt. So we need to determine what is the beta factor of this farm when it has a debt. Because we are given the beta factor for equity, so we need to ask ourselves, can we have the beta factor for equity with a debt? That's the question. The beta factor for equity with a debt. Remember, we talked about the beta factor for equity without debt, the beta factor for equity with debt. So how do we get the beta factor for equity with debt, the beta factor for equity without debt? Now, the first thing, this farm is geared. This farm is geared. Therefore, we need to determine the beta factor for a geared farm, for equity in a geared farm, for equity in a geared farm, and in presence of taxation. Geared farm to determine the beta factor of equity in a geared farm, and in the presence of taxation, So beta factor for equity in a geared farm, you multiply by 1 plus debt over equity, you multiply by 1 minus taxation. So we have these variables. The beta factor for equity in ungeared farm, we may be having it in the question. So can we check from the question and see whether we had a beta factor somewhere? I don't know whether we computed or we are given. beta for equity was 2.4. So we have debt. How much is the debt?
Bitanu.
Can someone give us the debt? Do you have the debt somewhere? The debt, the debt, the debt. The market value of the debt. Where is this debt? So we are told yes. Now we are told that Maraika Limited has a debt of 72. Nyabugogo Limited has a debt of 5,000. So once Maraika acquire this company, it will acquire the equity. Then it means that the debt will amount to 7,200. I don't know whether we are getting this together. The amount of debt in this company, once it has acquired, it will have a debt amounting to 7,200. So we have the amount of debt. Debt is equal to 7,200. Then we need to determine the equity. That is E. How much is the equity? Someone to give me the amount of the equity. Someone to help me get that equity. Did we compute the equity somewhere? I think you must have computed equity. Value of the farm. We have value of the farm. The market price is 15 times that. No, are we getting it right? Can someone help me get that value of equity? Let me get back to the question. So we are told that ordinary share capital is 10. We have ordinary share capital is 10. We have in the earnings, the earnings per share is 55. Ordinary share capital, that's 10 million. Oh, I think that something is not correct. Let me see. Net assets, goodwill, current assets. This company is listed in the market. How much is it selling it? How much is the price per share?
Which one?
We are told that the immediate option at hand is to implement strict cost control measures in chemical used in mineral processing. This has been identified as the single costliest activity in the company's operation and an area that may not be mechanized in the short run. In line with the above objective, Nyabugongo Limited, a company specialized in hazardous chemical production and disposal, has been identified as a possible acquisition target. Preliminary due diligence on Nyabugogo Limited has revealed that the company is still owned by its original founders and that they may be willing to sell all their equity stake in the company at a minimum price of 85. They are willing to sell it at a minimum
kimucanze uri kureba muri hasi se kandi mbona yagiye arabyita network good good nizere ko atari iki ngiki kandi nizere ko atari cyo ko mbona gitandukanye mani mbe ndetse kukireba ariko bibaye ari cyo ndabona bitavamo Sekeri we genda urebe nyine uko bimeze ntago urashiramo cyane
Can you hear me? So I don't know whether you can hear me. I think there was some interference. Yes, please, can you hear me?
arabigerageza cyangwa bimuvutura
Hello? I need to see whether you can hear me, please. Let me see whether you can hear me, please.
izi ngegera zakoresheje ubundi buryo hano bwo gukubaka ukuntu
Hello, can you hear me? Yes, yes, please. Yes, do a text. I need to find out whether you can hear me. Yes, I need your response. Can you hear me? I cannot see your response. Just respond on the chat box. I cannot see any response, please. Yes, I cannot hear. Can you hear me? I cannot see any response. Yes, are you there? Yes. Can someone unmute and say whether I can hear you? Hello?
ijya ku mashini imana turaba tubireba screenshot isa screenshot uri kuyifatanya harya za note turazifite mana ngo ndebeho nimero z'uyu mujyama nzani ngizi imbere yanjye sha
I don't know whether you can hear me. Please write a response on the chat box. I don't know whether you can see what I've written on the chat box. Please write a response. I cannot see you are writing on question and answer. I don't know what has happened. I can see someone on my WhatsApp saying that you can hear me. Oh, now how will I know how we are moving? What happened with the chat box? Can you use the chat box instead of question and answers? Use the chat box. My question and answers uh, box is deactivated. I don't know what has happened. I understand there is some buffering of internet, possibly on my end. That's why it is behaving like that. Hello?
aramuhamagaye.
Yes.
Kanze nandike nimero ya mwarimu man.
Okay. I understand that you can hear me, but the question and answer box is inactive. On my side, chat box is active. I can light, but you cannot see. You can light on question and answer, but I cannot see. So instead of struggling, we have only 20 minutes. The most important thing that I need is you to understand. It is not to finish. That is always my objective, to make you understand. It is not to finish. So for that, I would rather we leave it at that. I know my side there is some buffering on the internet because there's some interference of the power going on and off. So we leave the class at that instead of finishing for the sake of finishing. That is what we'll start with tomorrow. Then we proceed to the other things. I'll start by finishing that part. Please make sure that you revisit everything that you have done. You repeat that question to the extent that you have done. I will finish it tomorrow, please. So we leave it there. Have a great evening. See you tomorrow. And thank you for the consistency. You have maintained over 100 students throughout. Have a great night. Great night.
Kandi dusoje man.